Our fifth ratio or indicator we are focusing on is our risk indicator. Now, the risk indicator is to what extent the business is credit worthy. In other words, how is the business financed? It's about asking questions whether a bank will actually provide further finance in the form of a loan to a business. So we have there the debt equity ratio, which is basically our debt is our long-term liabilities, our long-term debt as a ratio to the equity. So when you see debt, just think long-term liabilities. So we are comparing to what extent are we financed by third-party providers versus to what extent are we financed by own capital. So long-term liabilities, therefore foreign capital, owner's equity is also what we refer to as own company, own capital rather. Okay, so the more a business rely on its own capital, the less risky the business is usually seen. And the more, on the other hand, it is financed by foreign capital, in other words, long-term liabilities in the form of loans, the more risky it is seen. So usually we refer to a debt equity ratio of 0.5 to 1 as lowly geared. So that is when basically for every 1 rand of own equity, we only use 50 cents of long-term liabilities. On the other hand, if we start to use just as much long-term liabilities as owner's equity, in other words a 1-to-1 ratio, then we are starting to think of highly geared and a more risky scenario.